Hi everybody. So welcome to a new reading vlog. This is going to be my second one. I think eventually I'll stop saying this is my second, third, fourth, whatever. But for now, it's my second one. So I am going to be reading Dark Matter. I think by the time this goes out, there will be a video about there will be a video of like February TBR where I created like a TBR jar. But this is a book that I promised a friend I was going to read, so I want to keep my promise and I'm going to read it. So I'm excited. I have read the first chapter already, and then I got kind of sidetracked by Fairy Tale by Stephen King, so I'm going to pick this up again, and then I'm going to bring you guys along for that experience. There might be, depending how fast I finish this book this week, there might be another book that I might pick up for this reading vlog. My goal is to do like a weekly reading vlog slash, I don't want to call it like a general vlog because I think it's going to be mainly just reading, but I do want to kind of document like just my weekly reading for, I don't know, for however long. But yeah, so Dark Matter, I'm gonna read it, and yeah, I think at this point I'm just repeating myself. This is still awkward, but it's okay. It'll get better, I hope, I think. So Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. It says there, are you happy with your life? Those are the last words Jason Desson hears before the kidnapper knocks him unconscious, before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. Before a man he's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back, my friend." In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife, his son was never born, and Jason is not an ordinary college professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Is it this life or the other that's the dream? And even if the home he remembers is real, how will Jason make it back to the family he loves? From the author of the best-selling Wayward Pines trilogy, Dark Matter is the mind-bending thriller about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. So that's what this book is about. My friend said this book was amazing. She loved it. And just other people who have read it online recently that I've seen have raved about it as well. They haven't really said much about it because I think it's all tied, like the book, I think if they were to talk about it from the beginning, you know, like that's like spoilery, you know, something like that. That's what I'm assuming. I have no idea. I have read up to where I have read up to the point where we have met, well, we know he's being kidnapped, but that's about it. Yeah, so that all happens in chapter 1. He gets kidnapped in chapter 1, and we don't know what's going on yet, so I'm excited to read it. I finally have the time to sit down and like focus, because I think early, like just talking with my friend, I think I realized that this book is a book where that you can't put down, and since I had already started Fairy Tale last time, I was like, let me just finish this and then, you know, read this one. I think you will learn that as I, you know, log more of my reading stuff, I think you'll come to realize that I am not a reader who can read multiple books, you know, have multiple books ongoing at the same time. So yeah, I do have to finish one book before I can start a next book. So that's just me. So yeah, let's get reading. Hi guys, so I am in bed now, makeup off, my skincare done, and my retainers on. I have read, and I had to put some laundry away and stuff, but I'm on page 96 right now, and at the 50 page mark I did take notes, so I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of read what I wrote. The reason why I didn't like stop to film is because it was in a really good spot in the book where I just wanted to keep reading type of thing and then get over that, like, you know, intense little moment, and then I wrote down my thoughts, and yeah, so now I'm filming this. Sorry, I have fur on my nose. Okay, so my thoughts, you know, at the 50 page mark. I was confused. I mean, that's kind of the summary thus far. I mean, I'm on page 96 and I'm so confused. But yeah, I'm just confused. I texted my friend that said I should read this book, and I just texted her like, I am so confused. I have no idea. She's not giving me any info, so I don't know if my confusion will be somewhat answered or not at the end. But yeah, I told her what part I'm on, and she was like, oh yeah, it's confusing. And I'm like, okay, that gave me nothing, so I'm just gonna keep reading. Let's see, what else did I write? It is, oh yeah, it's super fast paced. I think, yeah, I think you gather that from me wanting to keep reading past the 50 page before I updated on here. So it is super fast paced and it's very engaging. So although it is confusing, I mean, you're finding out stuff with the character, right? So you just want to keep reading because you want to find out, because it's so freaking confusing. It kind of gives me the vibes of like Stranger Things. Like there's like a part towards the beginning where he has returned. I don't know from where or to what, but he has returned. And it just gave me like the vibe of like Stranger Things, like the lab in Stranger Things, and like him being in like the Upside Down or something like that. It's not that. But yeah, there's like no Vecna or any of that. But that's where my brain went when I read that part. I was like, okay. And then we have found, like, Jason is the main character. Jason has explored after coming to, like, after waking up from being pretty much attacked when he was being kidnapped. And it's a different, like, reality. So we're finding that out with him, and he has found some of the people in, like, so like the first chapter is like we're introduced to like his life, right? I mean, at this point I don't know if it was real or if it wasn't or any of that, but we're introduced to a life with his life. And then after he wakes up, it seems like there is a different life. And that's where we're at right now. So I don't think this is any spoilers because it literally said it in the back of the book that he wakes up, and what if his life isn't the life he, like his life, and his wife isn't his wife, and his kid doesn't exist. Like, you know, it's not spoilery up to this point, but yeah, I'm just confused. Confused, but not like in a bad way. Like confused, like I don't get what's going on, but it's because the main character doesn't know what's going on, so we know what he knows. And yeah, so he has found some of, I'm just gonna say, his friends from the original life that we were introduced to for him. So there's that. I hope they're gonna help him out, figure things out, but we'll see. But so far I'm enjoying it. It's fast paced, it's engaging. Yeah, so I'm going to keep reading. There is this Mexican YouTuber that I watch, and she's gonna do a live pretty soon, so I'll probably stop reading and watch a little bit of the live. But other than that, I'm just gonna keep reading, and I probably won't update you until tomorrow because it's 9:30 and my bedtime is like 10. So yeah, I will update you guys probably tomorrow in the morning. So yeah. Hi everybody. So I finished Dark Matter yesterday. The reason why I did not update after my last update is because I hit like a lull in this book. The first half was great. It was entertaining. It was fast. Well, the whole book is kind of fast paced, but it was extremely fast paced. It kept you on the edge of your seat because it was so confusing and you didn't really know what was going on. So that just kind of, just had you reading to figure it out. And then towards the middle of the book, you kind of start getting some of the answers. Or at least you're not totally lost or in the dark. But that's kind of where I lost some of my interest. It was good overall, but I don't know. Like, I think I just wanted too much out of this book, which that was what I was afraid of, that it was so hyped up and everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's so good, it's so good. But so that my expectations were extremely high. But the reason why I feel like I kind of lost interest is because it started getting very repetitive in the things that were happening, and it was a little too long of that repetition. Like, I get why the repetition was going on. They were like, he was figuring stuff out each repetition, but I think some of them could have been condensed a little bit and, just given a little bit less of that. And then finally it gets to the point where all that repetition kind of stops. So then my interest was piqued again because I was like, okay, finally, like, we're seeing movement, like, finally we're out of whatever the middle of the book was. So I was super excited again. I was like, okay, like, it'll be fine, it'll be good. But then things just kind of started happening where it was more of like, in my head, I was just thinking like, this just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, just things in like the plot kept coming up, like new things, and I was like, this is the first I hear of this. Like, why wasn't this introduced at least in the middle of the book when all that repetition was happening? Like, why wasn't any of this kind of brought up as like it could happen? Like, because then when it does happen, you're just like, that happened out of left field type of thing. And I kind of lost interest again, just a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. It felt like a roller coaster, but not because it was the point of the book. I think a lot of people, with the plot twists that kind of kept happening, I think that's what made it fun for them. But for me, it was like, if you spent all this time at like in the middle of the book explaining all of this, where does the thing, this other plot twist, how does that tie in? Because it just felt like it was just thrown in, and it was just like, okay. But I was like, I'm just gonna keep reading. So I kept reading, and I was like, it's okay, we can get past this. Like, you know, like the ending's probably gonna be really good. It's gonna be, you know, and it was. Like, it started getting very intense again. So I was like, okay, like it's picking up again. Like we're getting somewhere again. And the ending, yeah, I don't know. Like the ending was like so good. It was starting to get good. And then everything just became easy. And I didn't like that. This book kind of, for the ending to be easy, it didn't make sense because the book was confusing. Like the first half of the book was so confusing. Why was the ending so easy? Like it was just, you know, it was just easy. And I don't know, like I feel bad, you know, because I know a lot of people love this book. And like I said, overall it's good. Like I think if you want a quick read and not think too much into it and just, you know, read a sci-fi for the fact that it's just a sci-fi and you want a good time, I think this is a good book. But I think I was too into it. I think that it didn't connect for me in the ways that I liked, and the ending was just a little, like I said, too easy. Yeah, I'm not sure. This week also, at the beginning of the week, it was announced that Apple TV is going to do a TV or like a series adaptation. So I'm excited for that, to see, you know, how whoever the screenwriter or whatever, like whoever that is, makes this into a TV show. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, but anyways, overall, it was a good read. It was still fun. And yeah, I think if, like I said, if you want a sci-fi for the sake of a sci-fi and you want a fast-paced, like just solid sci-fi story, I think this works. I really do think so. But don't take everything to heart, because yeah, I don't know. I don't like talking negatively, but, and I hope it's not coming off as like I hated this book, because I do not regret reading this. I think it was a good book. I just think there were parts where I was like, if we would have spent less in the middle and used up some of that writing space or like those pages to expand like the ending, would have been cool. But yeah, overall, I mean, like I said, I think this works for people, like for a lot of people. This still worked for me. Like I said, I don't regret it. I'm not in a reading slump or anything. Like it was good. But I think I wanted a little bit too much out of it. But I think part of that is because it was so hyped up. I got my hopes and my expectations extremely high for this sci-fi. And although some people say it's horror or something like that, thriller, I can see it. I can see the thriller aspect, but I think it's more sci-fi heavy than anything else. But yeah, it's just a mind-blowing sci-fi suspense love story mashup. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I would definitely say this is more sci-fi than anything else. But yeah, it does also leave you thinking, which I think is always good. Like if a book leaves you thinking, I think that's good, you know? And it definitely does leave you thinking, especially if you are like married or in a very like committed relationship. I think it leaves you contemplating stuff, and like I personally like that. So yeah, that's Dark Matter. I think that's the end of this vlog. I don't know, I just started reading hang on. I just started reading a Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I'm about 50 pages in, and so far it's good. So far it's entertaining. It's a little bit funny at times. I don't know if I will necessarily record my thoughts for this book, but we'll see. But yeah, if not, I'll have like a wrap up of this video, like reviewing this video and things like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. I feel like I was going and then I kind of stopped, but again, that's because I hit the lull in the book and I didn't really recover from that. So I'm excited to see the Apple adaptation and Apple TV adaptation, and we shall, I guess, review that when it comes out, and see how it kind of compares or doesn't compare to the book. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of your week whenever you're watching this. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.